So in today's video, I'm going to show you the best golf swing for senior golfers. So unfortunately, as we get older, the general rule is that we maybe get less strong, less fast, and less flexible. And that can really be a killer for our golf game, can't it? So you might remember a time when you used to hit the ball long and straight, and maybe over the years, you've reverted more to that horrible little shot that cuts out to the right, doesn't really go as far as it should do. And as the clubs get longer, the kind of distance you hit it seems proportionately shorter and gets wider and wider and wider. So what I'm going to talk about in today's video isn't, believe it or not, just aimed at senior golfers, but maybe aimed at golfers who feel that they're not as flexible as they could be. So I'm mid-40s now, and even though I probably look after myself better than I did in my 20s, I probably don't move as well as I did naturally back then. So the area I think lets most golfers down is a lack of rotation in the golf swing. And I'm not suddenly going to show you how to become loads more flexible in today's video, but I am going to show you how to get the best out of your golf swing to help you maybe get a little bit more speed, deliver the club better, hit the ball further and straighter. So what we would generally see when we look face on at golfers, when we're looking at rotation in the golf swing, we're looking at two areas. The first one we're looking at is how well we kind of rotate in our backswing, and the second one is how well we rotate kind of into our impact position. And I do kind of a lot of videos talking about how we'd love to see that lead side kind of out the way, chest opened up, get lots of shaft lean, but I think it's very difficult for a lot of golfers to get that. So in today's video, I'm going to focus more so on the backswing, give you a better range of motion, get the club moving a little bit longer, a bit quicker, and even if our rotation's a little limited on the way through as a result of that, how we can kind of use our hands and arms a little bit better to get you hitting the ball a little further. So most golfers try and hit the ball straight. So what they will initially start off doing is aiming the club pretty straight and setting the feet, nice and square. Now there's only three ways you can kind of set your feet. One is square, one is open, which for a right-handed golfer would be more off to the left, or the other one would be closed and off to the right. So as a general rule, I think most golfers like to stand nice and square, but what they'll tend to see is as they start swinging, they're very limited in that backswing, maybe try and get a bit more power out of it, and there's that kind of weak one out to the right again. So because they struggle with that direction, the first thing they start doing is kind of aiming off to the left a little bit more. Now, what we're really looking for though in that backswing is as we get the club moving back, we're going to get the chest and the shoulders turning, then we need the hips to turn, and that allows that rotation in the backswing. Now, I want you to look at the difference where you align your feet makes to how much you can rotate. So if I would stand square, even if I'm a little bit limited, I could probably get back to there. If I were to open my stance, all of a sudden my right hip is in the way. So then as I swing back, I become even more limited. Whereas if I were to close my stance, straight away there's maybe a little bit more range of motion because the hip is already out of the way. So actually you can see for some of you, even though you're trying to get the ball straight, by aiming off to the left, straight away you're setting a restriction in that backswing. No length in that turn. And even though it's got back to target, like I said, there's no real power there because of the lack of rotation. So the first little thing I'm going to ask you to do is to set up as normal and then actually pull that trail foot back. You might need to move your front foot just forward a little bit. So you can definitely see now my feet are aligned much more off to the right. And as an added little bonus, I'm going to get you to turn that trail foot out a little bit. And again, that's going to give more ability to rotate in the backswing. Now, the trade-off to having more rotation in the backswing is potentially it limits how much your body can rotate on the way through. Okay? Now, I don't mind that for now, because what this extra rotation on the way back is going to do is the club's got further to travel, therefore we can generate a little bit more speed. Now, anyone who watches my videos, the bonus this is going to create for you is something that's not great for my swing. But for a lot of golfers that struggle with that ability to rotate out of the way enough to kind of get that club face squaring up with the body, their body will stop and then the hands and arms have to rotate a little bit more. Now, for anybody who slices the ball, they generally don't see that anyway. There's lots of kind of this position at impact. So it's kind of a double-edged sword as a bonus for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to aim that club nice and straight. We're going to stand square, front foot forward a bit, trail foot back, turn that trail foot out. And then as the body kind of can't rotate on the way through, I want you to feel that you let the hands and arms rotate the club a little bit more. Now, I'm not guaranteeing it's going to give you phenomenal consistency on the shape of shot, but straight away, if I make those little changes in here and make a swing, so you can see that one curving back and all of a sudden 140 yards carry. So we suddenly gained 20 yards through the air, which is absolutely huge at any level. But if you're someone who's only hitting it 110, 100 yards maybe carry, 20 yards is a huge percentage. Now, there's one additional little change you might need to make in your golf swing as a result of this, is when you change where your body is aligned, in theory it slightly changes where the golf ball is in your swing. So, I've spoken in the past about the club moving in a circle. So when I stand nice and square, I can see that the bottom of my arc is by the golf ball. Now, as I move everything round to the right, the bottom of the arc actually looks further back. It's not, it's actually in the same place relative to my body. So you might actually just need to move that ball position back very slightly. Try it out a little bit, maybe an inch, inch and a half. So ball position slightly further back. We're going to get the feet aligned much more to the right. Turn that trail foot out and then make that swing. Now that one curving more to the left, and I don't mind that because all of a sudden we're going to present a little bit less loft, which will get us a bit more ball speed. We're already going to create a little bit more club head speed because of that bigger turn. And for me, any golfer I've ever worked with who's had that kind of weak slice, glancy kind of shot, if they actually miss a couple of shots left, they don't mind because they're picking up so much distance. And comment below, if you're a slicer of the ball, wouldn't you love your bad shot to be an overdraw or a bit of a hook? But it's a really good feeling. And like I said, once you're in that position, it's making you swing much more from the inside relative to the target line. So as long as we now get that club face closing, and it's not for everybody getting the hands and arms, but if you're somebody who's very weak with that strike, there'll be no rotation. And if you can get into that little habit of setting up there, even though I haven't got all of that one, still nearly 150 yards carry. And like I said, if you can make sure that we've got more rotation in that backswing, from here, the club's going to deliver more from the inside, let those hands and arms get the club rotating. And obviously we're seeing a big improvement with the irons just here. Ball position slightly further back. And again, even though it's curving to the left, huge pickup in distance. And then even with driver, same idea, ball position not as far forward, everything more over to the right. And we can see they're bending to the left. So you then might need to change where you aim. But honestly guarantee you, if you can change that little bit of setup, make sure that that trail hips back, foot's open, allow yourself to make that much bigger turn, much easier rotation in the backswing without making you any more flexible. The challenge mentally will be making yourself aim more right than left. But like I showed you at the start, when you're aiming left, you're getting more and more restricted in that backswing. So if you're shaping it a bit more like we've seen there, and you can aim even more down that right edge, look at how much bigger you're going to get that turn. Hit the ball further, more accurately. And even if you're not a senior, you're just a golfer who wants to hit the ball a bit further, this will absolutely work for you. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed the video and you don't currently subscribe, I would love you to hit the subscribe button below. Ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.